Hockey town, going down to hockey town, whoa, whoa. Hockey town, take me down to hockey town, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello, hockey fans. We're on the air. We're at the PACT-TV studios. It's Monday, March 7th, and it's state tournament week. And the Minnesota Hockey Connection has a special guest today, Mike Randolph. His team, St. Thomas Academy, played 6 of the teams that are in the AA tournament, and this is going to be some great conversation on these teams and who we both think might win these games on the quarterfinals. I think it's going to be one of the better quarterfinal days in many years because of the teams in there. So let's get started. But first of all, let's start about Minnesota Wild having problems. Mike, you've had a few teams that's gone through a few weeks of what's going on here, and how do you fix a team like the Wild? And it happens in every level where you might get 2-3 weeks where nothing goes right.
Well, Jer, I've had that a lot in my career.
Yeah.
But I think you try different ways to try to get it moving in the right direction, and some work, some don't work. You kind of get the temperature of the locker room and the players, and you just try to, in the end, as the losing streak goes on, I think you have to be more positive instead of negative. You might be a little negative at first because you haven't been there before, but in the end, with the Wild, you plan on making the playoffs, and that's what it's all about in the end, is how you do in the playoffs. It's about getting in the playoffs during the regular season. So I think they'll get it back on track. They will get it back on track, and what I'm hoping is that they go deep into the playoffs as everybody else is.
Okay. Myself, going to a lot of the games, just looking from the outside looking in, I see the special teams are having a lot of problems, and it seems like the goaltending has loosened up a little bit where they're letting in a few more soft ones than they have in the first half of the season.
I've heard that comment made on different places, and I haven't followed it that closely to make any kind of direct observation regarding a position, such as goaltending or scoring or power play. So, but I know this, they've got a lot of talent on that team. They've done a heck of a job, and they kind of spoiled us a little bit by getting off to that great start and having a great season to that point. But again, what I think hockey people that I talk to are really looking forward to is the potential of going deep into the playoffs, which Wild haven't done for years.
Right.
So hopefully that'll happen.
So right now they're on the borderline, but the positive thing I see out of this, they're going to be home a lot. And home cooking can help a team.
Oh yeah, especially that rink. It's
with the fans.
One of the rinks that has the highest energy, and of course, it's always jumping. And as you go on in the season, I mean, the playoffs are at a whole new level with the warm weather and the tailgating going on. They come into that building pretty lively, and like you said, it can be a huge home advantage, and hopefully it'll turn their season going into the right direction.
Right. Yeah, everyone hopes in Minnesota that they get it back together and get to the playoffs so they see how far they can go. Okay, let's move on to college. I was at the UMD series with St. Cloud State. They think like they're playing their sisters every day. They're playing a lot, man. And so it was a tough series, and UMD's having some problems scoring right now. And that's another, they got to they got to go over to St. Cloud now for the best of 3. Otherwise, their season could be done. I don't think so, but it could happen.
Yeah, scoring comes and goes, but what Scott Sandlin's teams, I think, have always been, nobody talks about it, but they play as well defensively as any team in the country. And even when they had scoring on their side, they still goals against, playing in your own end, playing without the puck. I don't think there's a better team in the country. So they will be in every game like they were this weekend. They were in both the games. And I think nothing will change going to St. Cloud. I know it's a little bit more difficult playing on the Olympic sheet. St. Cloud's a little bit more familiar with it, but I expect a great series, and hopefully UMD will come out on top.
Right. One thing about UMD and Scott Sandlin's teams, I mean, they're, like you said, they're always going to play hard, and no matter what. And even when they're behind 2-0, you can see how hard they're trying and that, you know. But it has to be a little frustrating when you go through a streak when you don't score.
It is. That's what happened to us. We put 50 pucks on, who did we play?
Eastview?
Eastview, and scored 1 goal. So that was kind of our Achilles all year,
Yeah.
trying to find scoring. It come and go, and scoring does come and go. And what you have to do is play well defensively, which we did. We got great goaltending. We made a mistake at the end, and that's what decided the game. And that's high school hockey at this time of year.
If you take that Eastview team out of the system, you guys had a pretty good season for not being a team that's not too deep, and
what really hurt us
losing
is
your number 1 player.
Exactly.
You lost your number 1 offensive goal scorer player, and if you would have had him all season, who knows how far you could have went in this.
Yeah, we got spoiled there at the end of the year. We worked him into our power play, and we're all looking at each other, the coaches, and going, well, we'd love to have him back, even if we had him back just for the power play.
Right.
I mean, our power play in practice that day was like 4 for 5, and he was involved in every one of them. He is an elite player. He had a commitment to Colgate. He withdrew that commitment and is now going to go probably get drafted high in the USHL, and it's going to be fun to follow his career. He's a special player. Unfortunately, he got hurt in a scrimmage against Benilde the first weekend of the season, Achilles injury, and he was out the entire season and playoffs. And he was clearly our best player, our most offensive player. He had a great elite league, and we were really looking forward to his season. But those things happen, and wish him nothing but the best. He's a great kid, great hockey player, and he'll do well.
Right. I was looking at my preseason rankings and kind of got lucky again this year. I see a lot of games, but I had you number 10 to start the season. But you're always in that 10 to 15, area basically. But you beat a lot of good teams, like I say, and you going down the line here. I know you had Moorhead and lost at the end. Yeah, I mean, you had them.
Yeah.
You split with Edina. Hill Murray kind of got you.
Yep.
Maple Grove, that third period, you were all over them. You could have had them. It was a 2-1 game.
Yeah.
Cretin, a lot of people had them number 1, number 2, number 3 all season. You beat them both times.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, when you play the big games, I'll take away 3 games that you played pretty good hockey with the elite teams.
Well, that's what was really fun down there, is playing the elite teams and seeing the elite teams. And you know what the nicest thing was? I only was 20 minutes away. Instead of hours away.
Yeah, that's funny.
So that was, our longest trip was to Grand Rapids.
Yeah,
and,
at the end of the season.
Hermantown at the end of the season. So
the bus money, gas money was pretty cheap this
yeah,
year.
it was really cheap. We actually, because we were so close, we took school buses. So, I mean, all those places are very close, as you know.
Right.
And that was different for me, but I really liked it. Home at 10 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock in the morning. And just the competition down there is so good. Right. And like you said, we played a lot of the teams that are in the state tournament, and some we did pretty well, some we didn't, but it's going to be fun. I think that this tournament is wide open, as you said, not only the quarterfinal, but the whole thing's wide open. I mean, you really can't pick one team
No.
that is
Anyone
gonna
can win
dominate.
it.
I mean,
Anyone can win it.
exactly.
So let's get started with Thursday quarterfinal day for the AA, which the parity, like I say, it's amazing. I mean, I'm having a hard time even picking the winners of the first day.
I'll give you some winners, sure.
I will too. We'll both go. We'll see what we're going. Okay, but we'll probably both be wrong.
Don't count on us.
Both be wrong. Okay, let's start on Thursday, 11 a.m. The first game, we got number 2 seed Cretin versus Prior Lake. You played both of them. What do you like about Prior Lake?
Well, they have the big line
Right.
that carries them. I think he uses that big line a lot, which he'll be able to in the state tournament.
Timeouts.
Especially, yeah, with the timeouts, quarterfinal, you can get by with it. I mean, it's similar to what EP did last year with their big line. And he played them a lot, and you can get by with it in the state tournament because of the TV timeouts. But other than that big line, I don't, I think Cretin wins this game just because of their depth. Seen them twice. They're very high-end, high-octane offense. Little lackadaisical on defense, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Cretin over Prior Lake.
Okay, I like Prior Lake because, like you say, that first line. And
Are you going against me, Jer?
No, not yet. But get ready.
All right.
Okay, but what I like about Prior Lake, when 3 kids were in juniors before the season started, come back and they wanted to come back and go to state tournament. They've never been to state tournament. So this is the first time. So there's going to be some nerves on that team.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah.
Any team, even if they've been there. But,
Right.
but I like that. What I don't like about Prior Lake is what you said earlier, but the timeouts might help them, is that they play their elite players a lot of time on that ice. And I've seen them earlier in the year. They were just gas, and they weren't good before the first of the year, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay, Cretin. I love Cretin, but they haven't been there for a long time. But they got every player back, basically, from last year. But what I don't like about Cretin is that their schedule has been so weak, and that can hurt them. It's hard to win 3 games with tough teams. And any team that wins this state tournament has to play.
All we're talking about is one game, don't you?
I know.
We don't have to talk about 3
Yeah,
games.
you always said get to Friday night and everything's good.
Well, get the Friday night. You don't have to go to Ritter this year.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to take Cretin too. We agreed on finally.
All right. There we
All right.
go.
So
Game
Cretin
1 over.
Cretin in the first game. Okay, second game. We got number 3 seed Maple Grove, which I like a lot. When they're playing good, I think it's one of the better teams in hockey. And Edina, who ended the year very good.
This one's easy for me.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. We played Edina twice. We beat them in that Christmas tournament, and it was our best game. And Edina was after, I think they lost to Moorhead the night before. They didn't have a real good Christmas tournament. But they came into our place, and they beat us 7-0. Spanked us. Played with us played with the puck in the third period. And I think Edina played hands down the toughest schedule in the state, period. Is Edina ranked in a state tournament?
Nope, they're not seeded.
That amazes me. And that'll motivate.
They came in at the end, started doing good, but they had in the middle of the season they weren't.
Just check their schedule.
Right.
Edina,
the best schedule in the state.
they've been there, done it.
Best
Kurt
coach.
Giles is a great coach.
Right.
I have Edina as one of the favorites in this tournament, but we're just talking about this game. We played Maple Grove. They're an excellent team. We played them on their sheet,
Yeah.
Olympic sheet,
Right.
which they have a lot more room to operate and show off their offense because they are offensively gifted. I don't think they play as well defensively. Hands down, Edina plays the most complete game, I think, in the field. Kurt's always had his teams like that. They play very well without the puck, and they're very good with the puck. So this one's I'm going Edina. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Maple Grove beating them, but I'm picking Edina. I think Edina's gonna beat them in the end in a close game.
Okay. What I think, boy, I think this game, the winner wins the state. I don't know. Hill's a very good team. I mean, a lot of people are edging on Hill and that.
Well,
but
then you better go for that. Then.
Well, I know. I'm thinking now. I haven't made my mind up yet. Okay, Edina. They got the coaching. They got the schedule. They got the players that, they play as a team. Kurt Giles makes them play as a team. They don't have this individual stuff. So they got to play as a team. And some games they're not going to score too much because of that. They got a goalie that can be pretty decent. So they got, he might come through now because he wants to be in the spotlight. Yeah. But they got this, I saw this little Nevers kid, sophomore. He's one of the better than Nevers. I mean, he's only a sophomore, but I think he's an up-and-coming star.
This guy is a key.
Yep.
Jimmy Clark.
Right. But they got this big D.
Yeah.
Worse. And he can be tough on that. But
they have a freshman fans that's number 2. He's like 6'3". He's a freshman, and he'll be going to the national development team. The reason I know that is one of our defensemen is going to go. He's a lefty. The guy on Edina is a righty, and he's fun to watch. It's hard to believe he's a freshman. He's a great defenseman.
which one of your players is going?
Scam.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, number 4.
Yeah, that's too bad.
They're trying out, but they're going to make the team.
Yeah,
Both of them will
right.
make the team. So.
Okay, but here's what I like more about Edina. In the last 8 games against tough teams with Zeta in their conference and some other games with Hill, they have allowed 4 goals in 8 games. I mean, what kind of D is that?
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I like about Maple Grove. If their starting 5 are playing good, this is a good team. And what I worry a little bit about their goaltender sometimes. But the first game of the season, Edina played Maple Grove. And with 4 minutes left, I was ready to get out of there and go to another high school game across town. And it was 5-2. And I went to the restroom. I came out. I hear noise. So Edina scored. It's 5-3, 5-4, 5-5. Overtime. Edina wins. So I thought, oh boy, wouldn't that be nice to match up again? And that's what's happening right now. Okay, they got a couple juniors that are the top scorer. This Lennon Gunderson, he's the real deal, and this Finn Brick can put the puck in, and this senior Giuliani. They're all 3 good, but the player that when he's on, Daniel Nelson, he can play D or he can move up on the power play or forward, whatever he wants to play, but the coaches put him back on D mostly. He's a big boy, and his brother just graduated last year, and he was a heck of a player, and this kid's better. So, boy, now you're making it tough. I think, boy, this is a tough one.
Well,
Tell you what, I'm going to go with Maple Grove,
Attaboy.
just because
I disagree with you.
because they were there last year, and a lot of these players played last year, and they went right to the end with Lakeville South in the semifinal game and lost in overtime. So there you go. That's
So you're
2.
picking Maple Grove to win it all.
I guess so.
Yep.
Okay. Now the number 1 seed, Hill Murray versus Lakeville South.
Well, Hill Murray's the best team we played all year, hands down. They scoreboard shows it. They're Did I say Dinah's defenseman? I'm sorry. Number 2, the defenseman on Hill Murray.
Yeah, the 2
is,
defensemen.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
Very
sorry
good.
about that. But Hill Murray's one of the best teams I've seen. Consistency-wise, I think they were the most consistent team in a regular season. They played, as always, they played a very difficult schedule. They've been upgrading their schedule forever. And I picked them to beat Lakeville South. Lakeville South hasn't played near the schedule.
Right.
They're a good team. I didn't see them, so I can't really. I followed them because of the season they had last year, but I didn't see them in person. Where I saw Hill Murray twice, and they're right up there as has to be one of the favorites. If you're going to pick a favorite in this field, they're one of the favorites to win it all.
Right.
So I've got to believe they're going to come in Thursday night and get it done and go on to the semis Friday night.
Right. What surprised me about Hill Murray this year is they lost their number 1 goaltender that was going to go play in the USHL. Who knows if he will? They had a problem there, but he left school. And
We played them after they lost him.
Yeah.
And there was not a lot of difference between the goaltenders.
They say this Ericsson's playing better than the other Ericsson, and they're not related.
Yeah, they're both very good. We played against the other one in the first game.
But you got 2 Mr. Hockey candidates, one of the D, number 11, Leo Gruba, and Dylan Godbolt, the forward. His dad played at Hill Murray.
This is the young freshman.
Right. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy,
Yeah,
very talented.
right.
And, he's
And
fun
then
to
they
watch.
got another one that gets he doesn't get the credit he's due, but this number 26 at D.
Yeah.
Alex Begley. And he's a senior D, and boy, he's got a lot of points for a D, 32 points. So that's pretty impressive. And they got a very good first line, and the second and third and fourth line, they play hard every time they do a shift, It's the Hill Murray style,
Yep.
They're very well coached, and you can't go wrong picking them. But Lakeville South, new coach. I don't like the schedule. They got a very good team. They're mostly juniors. So I think they're a year off if they all stay. And so I'm going to pick Hill Murray too. So we got 2 out of 3, Mike. Let's go. Something's going wrong here. Okay, we got the last game of Thursday in the quarterfinals. And this is another good game.
This is a very difficult game to pick.
This is a great game to watch. I mean, Edina, Maple Grove, I'm looking forward to, and Andover, Moorhead. Not saying the other games, but I think these 2 games.
4 and 5 seed are supposed to be the closest game. And I
Right.
think this is the toughest game to pick, I think.
Okay.
We played Moorhead. We were up on them, should have beat them. For some reason, we went into a defensive mode, and we didn't get over the red line, and we were up by 2, I think, and then we lost in overtime. They're an excellent team. About the only place I'm kind of concerned about them going on and winning it is their goaltending's been a little inconsistent. They have the scoring. They're a fun team to watch. They're very good with the puck. But Andover, I watched them the other night. They're a lot like Moorhead. Andover's 3 juniors are really fun to watch. Number 12,
Excellent line. Yep.
excellent line.
And then the kid
Casey
that came back, Conway.
Which kid is from Elk River? 15?
Casey.
Yeah. He fits
15.
really.
He's
He's
the
a
number 1
left-handed
scorer.
center, and he
Right.
finds Thornton on the right side who plays the offside. And that's a fun line to watch.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really fun game to watch for fans.
Right.
Because there's a lot of really good forwards
Right.
on both teams, a lot of offense. That could be a high-scoring game. Could be. It's a tough one. But I'm going to go. I just can't believe Andover wants to go over to Ritter Arena. I mean, they were the number one seed last
Are
year.
you calling Mark up? Tell him.
They were the number
Mr.
one
Manny.
seed last year, and
Right.
St. Thomas beat them actually.
Right.
Sent them over to Ritter.
Right.
And that was a talented team.
Right.
Talented team.
Right.
And they have some returners on this team that were on that team. And I got to believe they're going to go in that locker room and go, we have to get this done. We don't want to go over to Ritter to play. So I'm going to go with Andover. They're from Section 7 AA.
Okay.
So even though they're not north, they come out of the north section. And two northern teams playing each other. I'm just going to go with Andover.
Right.
It's a tough pick, but I'm going
Right.
to go with Andover. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Moorhead beat them.
Okay.
They're two even teams.
Okay. Andover has a goaltender that's up for the frame Brinzik. He played an excellent year, consistent all year round. So that I love.
Thanks
got-
for letting me know that.
Yep.
Why didn't you let me know that before that?
I can't tell you everything. You might give it out there. Okay. Coach Mark Manny has been around. He's a technical guy where he'll pick up any software, NHL, college, where they got film of every player, what this player does. They know every turn, just knows what they do on every power play. He knows everything. He studies that. He's a study of film and that. So I like that. That's different. I don't believe everyone should do it that way, but they got probably one of the best first lines in the state. They got two very good D, very good. And a lot of people don't know this, but that number 2 and number 4 are very good, and I think both of them will play D1.
They can play a lot too. They played
Yep.
a lot at Amsoil. Oh, we got to go there.
Okay, Moorhead, I like their program up there from top to bottom, from the squirts, peewees. They got everything going, and they're building for the next. It's just ongoing, and they're probably the only school right now up north that is always going to be a decent team.
Pick it.
Okay, I'm going to take Moorhead.
All right.
Moorhead. So
Okay,
we got
we-
2 and 2.
Two differences.
Okay.
Now, let's go. Who's going to win it? Are Hill-Murray
I'm
and Edina
taking-
in the
I'm
opposite brackets?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're taking
I'm saying
Edina?
Hill-Murray, Edina final. I'm going to take Edina.
Hill Murray, Maple Grove, Maple Grove.
Yeah, you had good way to stick to your word. You said that early on.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to be wrong, but I have to take
I'll
it.
have lunch. I'll let you know when I can make lunch, okay, Jer?
And Kurt Giles still won't smile after he wins, right?
Oh, he'll smile if he
Okay.
wins this one.
Okay, folks, there you go. Get down and watch it on TV, or get down St. Paul and watch the state tournament. This is the Minnesota Hockey Connection at PACT-TV. See you at the rink.